What's your guys take on the ESRB? Do you think it's useless or helpful or?
I think it's useful for lazy parents. Because I remember back in the day when my mom heard the words Mortal Kombat, she saw a commercial. Dude gets his head knocked off. She says, I'm not buying you that. I mean, I still got to play it because my uncle bought it. And he didn't give a shit.
I approve of the ERSB ratings except for one. I don't think that there should be a rating above mature. Adults only is a bullshit rating. It limits creative capability.
I think it's more, that's right up there with the same thing with the movie industry. People are afraid of an NC-17 rating.
Funny story, I actually got to see an NC-17 movie. It's the last one that I'm aware of that has ever been released, and it was when I was 16.
Good job.
It was 2 weeks before I turned 17. It was the Grindhouse movies, because they were rated NC-17.
Yeah. And those weren't even that bad. I mean, all things considered.
They were great movies.
I could talk for hours about the movie ratings board. Whatever.
But it's the same basic thing. I mean, if you look at an advertisement for a movie, and motherfuckers getting skull fucked with a chainsaw, you're probably not going to want to take your kids to see it unless your kids like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, something kind of funny. Has anybody seen Nurse 3D?
No. You guys
not last year.
You guys are parents. You guys should be telling us this shit.
Yeah.
I don't want my daughter to watch Django Unchained. There you go. You know, because that's.
I wouldn't blame you for that one. That's
Well, Nurse 3D, there was a lot of full frontal female nudity, and the censor boards were like, no, you got to cover this chick up. You know, she can't be completely naked. So through half the movie, this chick was bottomless. They put a bra on her, and she had pubic area all exposed.
Yeah, that's just a perfect example of being careful what you wish for.
What's really interesting, though, is the game ratings have changed a lot. For example, I've been watching the Game Grumps play through Leisure Suit Larry, and those games had a lot of nudity, but they came out in the 80s, before the ERSB rating. Since the ERSB rating came out, there hasn't been nudity in games. More recently, with God of War and Heavy Rain, that's been involved. But it's been really minor, very small scenes.
Not a focus of the game.
Yeah. And then Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. And at this point, I'm used to games saying, like, oh, fuck you, you son of a bitch. Because that happened with Saints Row originally. Because that game was like, we don't care about censors. We want language. And I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and the very first thing I do is go into a building. I didn't know what the building was. I just went into the building. And it's a strip club with them walking around naked. And I'm like, huh. And then you get lap dances with full boobs. Like, they don't
quick time events.
Wait, time out. That was Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yeah.
Okay, remind me to put that on my Amazon.
But, like, full-on strip club and everything. You get private dances. You get girls coming in. It's
just
very...
titties flying everywhere?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I'm sitting here and I'm like, geez, if a kid played this at all, they'd go into a room and be like, wow, there's naked girls everywhere.
But you know what would be great
Then
on
they
the
start
lap
shooting
dance
them.
thing? Would be if it was like that scene in God of War when you're having sex with the chicks and you're doing the thing. It's like it's like the chick's like, riding your lap or what have you. It's like you have to you have to last a little bit longer.
Where's the ship button?
There is a mini game involved. It's groping the dancer without the bouncer seeing it, and if you do it enough, you actually get to take the girl home and have sex.
I never thought that'd be in a video game. I think that's pretty cool.
That's real.
But
It is, but check it out. 10 years ago, that wouldn't have been allowed in video games.
But actually, that was one of the things that pissed me off about Red Dead Redemption. Because, I can walk into the middle of town fucking square and murder every single person I see. I can kill their horses, their dogs. I can kill the mailman. But, it comes to a time where this guy's walking past a hooker and she's like, hey, what's up? And it's like, this is the Old West. I got to be able to nail the hooker. And he's like, nope, I'm married. And it's like, are you the only honest desperado in the fucking world?
There's another rule in video games, and this is a solid rule. You can't get around it. You are not allowed to kill children in video games. However, computer games get around it all the time because they're not held to the same ERSB standard that console games are.
Well, that's always the first mod that comes out in video games is kill children
Or fly planes into buildings.
There you go.
You know what I love about
Followed briefly by
specifically
nudity.
the GTA games or Red Dead Redemption? If you last long enough, the cops will forget you did anything wrong.
Oh yeah.
You go off, drive a tank through a building, come out, start shooting everybody.
It doesn't quite work that way in Red Dead Redemption.
No.
Because, I mean, you do get a wanted thing, and if you get away from the cops, they'll stop chasing you.
You just
But-
better not go in that town
Yeah,
again.
If you go into that town again, like, you know, a couple days later you forgot you did anything, the motherfuckers will be like, holy shit, it's him!
Yeah, one, two things happens, I think, because there's a few games that have that concept now, because Fable does it too. But you go in and they go up to you and they're like, alright, so you have two options. You either get to pay off your fine for all this shit, or you're dead.
I can't tell you how many times this happened to me in Skyrim. I've, like, accidentally killed someone. I'm in the middle of fighting a dragon in the middle of town. A guard runs in front of me, and I clip him with my axe, and he dies.
Ooh, sorry.
And I'm like, dude, clear my line of fucking fire. Who's the hero here?
Yes,
And
I-
then the guards turn on me. like, I'm cool.
I have to bring this up because of the fact that I said Call of Duty is trash earlier. Have you guys played zombies in Call of Duty Black Ops at all?
Sure.
I don't even do Call of Duty.
Neither did I. I started playing Black Ops because I like killing Nazi zombies. I mean, they're fucking Nazi zombies. Fuck killing people online. I can do that in League of Legends. I don't get that same pleasure of killing zombies, though. And what's interesting is Call of Duty's Black Ops and zombies start off as just, you know, hey, let's kill zombies in this shack. It has a full story now.
Nice.
That is so in-depth. What happened is there was a scientist named Rorschach who studied under Dr. Maxis. Well, they unearthed this crazy element from the ground, and it turns people into zombies and releases this giant zombies curse. And Dr. Maxis, who starts understanding the zombies, gets killed. Rorschach takes over, goes absolutely insane, starts experimenting on other people, and then they lose all their memories and they start working with Richtofen because they don't know why he's doing all this. And then it eventually just spirals into this thing where he takes control of all the zombies and you're two sets of survivors trying to stop Rorschach. And they included all this into two different games with Call of Duty, and it makes it a good game.
And so they put all that thought into a
It
side.
turns a really shitty game into a great game because of zombies.
So I'm guessing either they weren't Nazis anymore, or the thing that turned them into Nazis also made them racist.
When you become a zombie, you become racist.
It's like you're like a rights activist, and like
When
all
you
of a
become a
sudden you
Nazi
start
in the game, you
becoming-
become a Nazi for real.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you start becoming a zombie. You're like a rights activist. So it's like, oh man, I really hate Jews for some reason. See, Kyle, like, quit leaving.
Brave.
Because I shot you.
Jesus Christ.
You know, that actually reminds me of a funny story that happened to me once.
Nazis and shooting people. Hey, that's a funny story.
Actually, it was
that happened to me.
something you said about, you know, shooting zombies and not wanting to kill people. I remember I went looking for a Resident Evil game, like back in the PlayStation days. We were back in Philly. We went to Funko Land,
Oh, I
Yeah.
miss
Funko Land.
back before it became GameStop, or at least that's what happened to our location.
That here too.
But
Yeah.
we went in there, and I was like, I want Resident Evil 3. And the dude's like, I don't have it. But, you know, I've got Metal Gear Solid. It's just like Resident Evil, except you're shooting people and not zombies. And I looked at him and was like, what kind of sick fuck are you? I don't want to shoot people. And I just fucking stormed out.
You should be like, you can hide under boxes.
That'd be a great way to do it. You can hide under boxes. You're a super spy,
Huh.
and your stealth is a box.
I've never actually hidden in a box in the game before.
See, this is where it really gets me that people say that violent video games make people violent. I mean, like going back to Skyrim, if I restarted it, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be an evil character because I'm used to role playing games where I can play a good guy or a bad guy or indifferent, and I'm just role playing a bad guy. You know, I'm going to steal from this dude. It's not going to actually make me go out in the world and like.
I play video games so I can be a bad guy. I mean,
Yeah.
why would I want to go kill a real person when I can go kill, like, a monster 10 times my size and feel like a badass for it? Why would I want to go kill a person when I can go stop Sephiroth from destroying the entire planet? I mean,
Yeah, it's like, that's the thing about video games, is it's escapism from your normal life, you know? Like, I think that's kind of where the rating is a little bit bullshit.
why
and all the
whack my
media
boss
about-
when I can play Whack Your Boss?
Which really makes you wonder. It makes you wonder about people who play The Sims religiously. Like, how do you escape from life by going
That's
into
why-
life?
That's where
Or, like, farm-
I definitely.
I mean, I like cheating in The Sims and building buildings and making characters,
You know,
but I don't actually play the game. I just make families and make a neighborhood. And
you know,
Whoa! I've never seen you without your hat before.
She stole my head.
You know what I did with Doom once? I made a mod for the original computer Doom, where I made an ex-girlfriend of mine, like her head. You know that giant head on the wall that like, spits out demons?
Yeah.
Yeah, I made that demon her head.
Yeah, and I remember playing Heroes of Might and Magic 3 way back in the day when you stopped talking to my ex-girlfriend at the time. You guys had some kind of falling out, and then she wrote this entire adventure in Heroes of Might and Magic 3 where you were the bad guy and I was the good guy, and I had to go around killing all your minions and saving her friends and righting the wrongs because you're some kind of bastard. But then again, this was also a girl who had kind of a erotic thing for Godzilla.
Awesome. I'm so glad I heard that.
She joined
Wow.
a cult at some
She
point.
joined a couple cults, I remember. Before
The
she
last
stopped.
one, made her delete her Facebook, and I haven't heard from her since.
Yeah.
Did she drink the Kool-Aid?
I hope not.
Oh.
You know what's sad?
She was.
No one born in the last decade knows that reference.
That's a shame.
Everyone would know about it.
Shame.
It's like if I said, "Where's the beef?" Everyone would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, no, the old lady in the Wendy's commercials.
Or like recently the Make 7 Up Yours that we
Oh my
did.
God.
Make 7.
Yeah,
Up
we were
yours.
talking about Orlando Jones and Sleepy Hollow and how cool he is, and I was like, before this, I always just saw him as the 7-Up guy.
Oh,
Like,
man.
Make 7 Up yours.
I
Show us
hear
a can.
Orlando Jones,
Yeah.
and you know what I think?
And
Caw, caw, turkey, turkey, turkey.
I'm pretty sure we covered that caw, tookie is not working.
I love that movie.
It's in my ass. It's in my ass.
It was like Eight-Legged Freaks, but not as campy.
It was like they wanted to be taken seriously.
It was a good movie,
Lord.
though. I mean,
Well, you do that automatically by excluding David Arquette. As soon as you put him in the movie, you stop being taken seriously.
get back, you Eight-Legged Freaks!
I mean, that's the reason I never really got behind the whole Scream franchise. It was like, wait, David Arquette?
Oh, we won't have to worry about that in the new Scream.
Oh.
Oh.
So, going back to what we were talking about an hour ago.
Sidetrack.
We've been sidetracked for like... sidetrack.
With all the new systems, ever since about GameCube, I think was the last one to do it, they haven't had any, add-on devices, like a light gun,
yeah.
or, for God's sakes, a Power Glove or
I
whatever.
have a Power Glove.
The last thing I remember was you could plug your Game Boy Advanced into the
Yeah,
GameCube.
I actually wanted to get one of those, but I could never get one for the GameCube. Yeah, but there hasn't been anything like that.
Nintendo actually just released an adapter so that you can use GameCube controllers on the Wii U.
Well, that's because Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But,
There's no other use for that.
Well, there are other peripherals, just not for Nintendo's products. Microsoft has the Kinect, and Sony has the PlayStation Eye. That's really all that there is, though, and the reason why is the peripherals almost always failed. The 3DS has one that no one's heard about, called the Circle Pad Pro, that gives you another circle pad on the right
What?
side. Yeah, it's only
But
used
they're-
in like 4 games, and it's completely eliminated now.
But they're
because it's
building
failed.
that into the new 3DSs anyway, so
Good
who
Lord.
cares?
You know what they need? An updated Robbie the Robot. For
Oh,
the Wii.
Rob!
Hell yeah!
Rob.
So, but now his hands can go up and down, so he can just play the Wii. Just give him the controller.
Or
Or help you with.
Or put it right. That's
That's
not where
right.
you put the
Wait,
control.
where's the
Sorry,
speed control?
There is actually a game that someone made for the Wii that uses the vibration function on the Wii
The Wiimote?
remote.
No, I don't.
And
I,
that's
I
as
don't
far
wanna
as
hear
I'm
about
going.
I don't
anyway.
care about this.
You want to hear about a fun peripheral? All right. Ever since Zack and Miri Made a Porno came out, I've been all about the fleshlights because Kevin Smith was raving about them. One of the things they made for it
Oh, no.
was a device that can hold your tablet and the fleshlight. So while you're watching porn, you are literally
Oh!
part of the action.
I think I saw something about that.
Oh,
So, peripherals. I think the greatest one, which was actually really fun to use, was the Super Scope, even though no one owned
It
it.
was rad as hell. You got this shoulder-mounted laser
Yeah,
gun.
it really
It
took the gun
weighed
to the
a
next
ton
level.
of fucking.
It was
oh
a
my-
battery eater, that's for sure.
A battery eater weighed a bunch. It was an ugly, ugly thing, but it was fun.
It was awesome. That's what they modeled the de-evolution guns off of. I can't
Oh, they
believe I'm
just
admitting this.
repainted them. Don't even.
Super
Hey,
Mario
monkey!
Brothers.
You know,
That movie was amazing.
A monkey!
Amazing, yeah.
you know what would be awesome,
A
and
monkey!
it's feasible. You know, like the 3DS has that augmented reality game with like the little floating heads that like break out of your walls when you're like doing through the thing.
Whoa.
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
AR
with the system.
fighters or whatever.
No, it was
Yeah, it's like part of
face something or other.
Yeah, it's like it takes a picture of
I
your
never
face,
used
and
it.
then you've got like little faces that come out, and there's like a boss or what have you.
Crazy.
I got
But,
bored with Pokemon one day and started playing it, and I showed him, and he was like, "Oh my god!"
But
Yeah, that's pretty
you
much
take-
what happens. That's
but
the
you-
only reason to touch it.
But you take a
See,
3DS,
I
right?
touch it.
And you take the Virtual Boy and a camera, and you connect them all together to create like an augmented reality thing where you're holding up the Virtual Boy to your head.
You mean the Oculus?
Sony has Project Morpheus coming out, which apparently takes Oculus Rift and goes, "We're Sony, learn how to do it."
Yeah, but the Oculus was just a prototype anyway. I think the weirdest add-on device was for the NES, where what it was a laptop that opens like this, and it's just a flat surface here and a flat surface here. And what you do is it has certain commands that register to your hand
You
movements.
actually use your hands in the
Yeah,
I saw that on an Angry Video Game Nerd video, and I was like, dude, that's the coolest thing ever.
I got to play with one of those. My friend had one when I was living overseas. I played Kirby's Adventure with it, and I actually figured out how to make him move and how to make him fly by just like doing sign language on the damn thing. It was so weird.
You know, my theories about Kirby, though, I think the Kirby species are actually dead Yoshis. Think about it.
Stop it.
That could
No
make
ghost
sense.
Yoshis.
There are Ghost Yoshis.
There's actually a game that Konami came out with called Technica. I think. I might be wrong because they've made so many rhythm games that it's absolutely nonsense. But what it is it has a bunch of lasers, and you touch the lasers like you're raving. Like, imagine DDR mat, but it's all lasers and you move your hands.
Like the new Fantasia game,
Yeah,
I think.
because Disney likes to rip off of Konami, because they really do. I mean, it's
Disney
obvious.
likes to rip off of everybody. Have they made an original like Disney classic movie that wasn't from something else?
But that's the thing about Disney.
Hans Christian
Everything they
Andersen.
do, I mean, even like, Frozen is so original. It's really not. They just changed a few things because Let It Go was so popular. They made her a good guy in the end.
Let it go, man.
Was Snow Queen a villain?
And originally she was going to be like this box standard evil queen. But then they're like, this song's really catching on. We can't make people hate her.
That would have been really interesting.
I would have liked to have seen people hate her.
I would like to see her in
Like
a
I
Mortal
hate her.
Kombat game.
Actually, remember that one? The ninja
Frost
chick?
or whatever
Yeah.
her name was. Yeah,
Frost, the Sub-Zero.
yeah. There's like the
Oh,
chick
yeah.
Sub-Zero in the one game.
Do you remember the Mortal Kombat game where you were Sub-Zero? And adventuring
Mortal
around?
Kombat Legends or
Yeah.
whatever.
That was a good
Sucked.
game.
I remember playing that game at your place. That was actually not bad.
Although it wasn't as bad as Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks.
Yeah, the other one sucked. They tried
And
that
then
with the Special
Forces.
one and the Shaolin Monks. Those games both suck balls.
The first one where you were Sub-Zero, I had a lot of fun with
I
that
actually
one.
liked that they worked that into the story of, I think it was Mortal Kombat Armageddon,
Yeah.
where they actually had you playing that kind of mini game.
Yeah,
earn
and in the
characters.
graveyard. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Did you guys ever see the Mortal Kombat TV series?
Yeah.
It was based off Mortal Kombat 4.
I was.
Darkstalkers had a good TV series.
Yeah. Well, Darkstalkers has good everything.
I don't know. I was kind of pissed off with the
Except for the
live-action
games.
Mortal Kombat
My girl's up
TV
there.
series.
Yeah, I saw
It was
It's like-
Morgan.
Too dramatic.
Not only that, but it's like Sub-Zero. Like, okay, never mind. It's like 500 years earlier or whatever from Mortal Kombat. It's like some dude and he like gets bit by like Shang Tsung Scorpion and he turns into Sub-Zero or Scorpion rather.
Weird.
And then like Sub-Zero like it's
Cocaine's a hell of a
he
drug.
he acts like he's gonna be like one of the good guys in the series for like the one episode, and then he knocks out Kung Lao for some reason, and he's like not on it anymore. But the truth is because their budget was shit, so they couldn't afford Sub-Zero special effects. I'm sure.
Dude.
It hurts. Doing like a
Welcome
spin.
back to Games with Simple Plot.
It hurts so much.
Yeah, that's
Can I
like Kingdom
just-
Hearts.
Oh,
Can I just fight my way up the ladder again?
What I predict in 50 years' time, everything is going to reset. Like everyone's going to do absolutely everything they possibly ever could have in video games, and everything's just going to become side scrollers where like you have to outrun.
Well, I've noticed that happening a lot in the world in general. Like, there was like 5 minutes where they made Boglins again.
Yeah.
Where Popples
I
were
saw
showing up in
Pogs the other
stores.
day.
Exactly. People are selling Pogs again. It's like fads have hit a point where they just went, okay, we're starting over.
But you know what's going to be fucked up, though? Is how video game technology, it is just going to be like virtual reality or maybe like a chip you have embedded where you have that. So it'll be like the background will just be moving where you can't like, stop or you'll die. And you'll be in this plastic tube so you can't move sideways. That'll be your 2D world.
I imagine what it's going to be
The
like.
Matrix?
Exactly.
I imagine what it's going to be like is identical to the commercial that they had for PlayStation 2, where they were advertising the PlayStation 9, where it was an orb, and you open up and you inhale all these chips, and they go into your brain, and suddenly you're in the video game world, and you can go from this video game to this video game without pressing a button. It's all in your head.
You can do that now. I know a dealer down the street.
I think
Meth station.
the biggest problem I think with video games is evolution of video games. They aren't really evolving, and the ones that aren't evolving are the ones who are just people are realizing they're not as good. Like Call of Duty sale numbers have dropped because people are like, this is just the same game over and over again, and it's really big. Like Pokemon. I remember in 1998 playing Pokemon on my Game Boy Pocket, and I stayed up so late as a kid that I threw up from lack of sleep. It was really bad. But yeah, so games aren't evolving anymore, and I'm going to use Pokemon as the example because it's all about evolution. That's the entire thing with those games. So taking a look at Pokemon back in 1998. And you had a game with Adventure and the Pokemon, they would come out of the ball and they with little sprites, and it's great. Everyone knows Pokemon. No one doesn't know Pokemon.
Can you do that one more time?
So, let's fast forward, the 17 years since Pokemon came out. We just got the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire, and the year before that we got X and Y. There's like 700 Pokemon now, and on those cartridges, instead of being limited by memory at the time, they have 8 gigs of available space, and Pokemon only takes up about a gig. Problem is, Pokemon still only have 4 maximum moves they can have. They still come out of the ball and go, instead of having any actual noise, except for Pikachu, and the games aren't evolving. They're not changing. It's the same crap.
But now we've got Mega Evolution. We can play Digimon.
Suck it.
Well,
Yeah, literally, it is Digimon, and
It
it's
is.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Well, you know what's ironic about that? It's a game that's all about evolving your Pokemon, doesn't evolve itself.
Yeah, and
It just looks
that goes
prettier.
into what I said super early on in this, where video games aren't evolving. They're just staying the same, and Nintendo's one of the worst people about it. Instead of, like in Super Mario 64, throwing Bowser into the bombs on the sides and doing all that was awesome. Now it's just hit Bowser 3 times and he's done. And Nintendo's devolving instead of evolving, which is exactly what Sega did in the 90s.
Which is exactly what happened in Super Mario Bros. Right, I'm going back to that again. Oh god, I gotta get off
That monkey.
Damn it.
He's got a Babon. I have a Babon around here somewhere.
You know-
Did you know that the lady with the red was supposed to be Big Bertha the fish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think they did
Stupid.
good.
But I don't know how much time we have left, but before we wrap it up, I wanted to say thank you guys for having us here.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and
Sure, no problem.
for making our intro and all that great stuff. I have to plug us a little bit. If you guys haven't, check out Killseal Gaming on YouTube. It is KS Gaming, just shortened. Snap and I, we play a whole bunch of games, old games, new games, whatever we feel like playing. We take suggestions. I'll buy some stuff on Steam, whatever works.
And sometimes we have guests on our show as well.
Wait, we're guests now? We're doing guest stuff?
Maybe
Yeah.
soon.
Alright, but I'm not playing Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, we're not going to do to you what we did to the twins.
I'll be
That's-
making
that's fine.
I'll be making obscene jokes about those characters until you won't be able to air that episode.
Matter of fact, a little foreshadowing, I heard that you both like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, well, I heard you like Mudkips.
Fucking love Mudkips.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna link their channel down below to however many episodes this ends up being. Right now, I'm foreseeing 3 episodes. This is gonna be.
We talked about a lot of random shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have become the epic sidetrack. Apparently, it
Unreal sidetrack talk.
only gets worse when there's more people around.
We're all nerds. It's okay.
Well, thanks again.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks for watching.
And thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Subscribe to them. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. So thanks for tuning in for another episode of Unreal Talk / Killsteel Gaming.
Unreal Gaming. Oh no, wait, we somebody took that one. Whoops.
How about Unreal Tournament? We'll just keep talking.
No, wait.
I've got it. We'll call ourselves Dragon Ball Z.
Fusion.
All right. See you guys next time.
Everyone.
Bye.